Thank you for joining Jennifer Shouts and Associates in our 2019 Webinar Wednesday series. We are coming to you live from downtown Washington, D.C. Our webinars are held every Wednesday, and you can find the upcoming schedule on our website. Past webinars and all recordings are also on our website and on our YouTube channel, along with over 160 other recordings on federal contracting topics. All are complimentary. If you have questions for our speaker today, you can email her, and her contact information is on the last slide. All right, this is just a little bit about us. We are a Washington, D.C.-based firm and provide services for federal contractors. This ranges from market analysis reports to proposal writing and post-award compliance. More information is on our website, so please visit us. We also offer advertising in our newsletter and webinars, so email me if you have any questions or you want more information. And our webinar today is sponsored by AccuTrack, and here's a short message from them.
AccuTrack Consulting and Accounting Services is an 8A WOSB CPA firm committed to supporting entities sustain growth in government contracting. Our outstanding DCAA accounting solutions reduce audit risk, improve cash flows, and give you peace of mind. Contact us today to learn how we can enhance your DCAA accounting efforts.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Today our speaker is Eileen Kent from Custom Keynotes Federal Sales Sherpa. Thank you for joining us, Eileen. We are going to be covering government contracting, what not to do.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Mallory, for having me on this recording, and a special thank you to Jennifer Shouts for inviting me to cover this topic. You know, a lot of times when people are looking at going into the federal contracting realm, they walk into the realm going, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And they're very, very excited about going after business, going after opportunities, very excited. They're filling out forms and getting into it. But the problem is there are what I call rabbit holes that you can go down. That can really take a lot of time and effort. It can really just completely drain your budget, your time, your heart, your soul. And I have been selling to the federal government since just after 9/11. I've walked the halls of LA, San Francisco, San Diego, Dallas, Atlanta, DC, Chicago, and round and round and round again. I've trained over 10,000 people in federal sales. And this is a very short conversation with you about the things that you need to avoid doing, which hopefully this next just little short time together could save you a couple $1,000, maybe even a couple $100,000. We'll see. Next slide, please, Mallory. First thing is a lot of people, once they register at the government website, System for Award Management, once you register yourself in there, do you find that you are only getting emails and phone calls from salespeople? These are consultants that want to do business with you, and some offer a wide variety of different things. But there's one or two things I never want you to have to actually put money down for. You should not be spending a dime on anyone helping you to either register at Sam.gov or to update your entity at Sam.gov. And in our next little series, we'll talk about what we need to do with our Sam.gov registration, but you should never have to pay for it. So we just saved you anywhere between $500 and $1,000. So $500 saved. Next slide, please. This one's a big one, and I could talk about this one for about 4 hours. Have you ever gone to FedBizOps or the public bidding site, FBO.gov, and you start typing in keywords for what you do, furniture or roofing or IT services or staffing, and you see all these opportunities come up that you could bid on? Well, a lot of people think that if they respond to a bid that's published at FedBizOps, and they've never heard of the opportunity, and they don't know who the point of contact is, they've never walked the halls of that agency before, that they actually have a chance at winning this. Yeah, just like at Vegas, you have a chance at winning the World Tour poker match. But if you haven't been playing for a while and know all the game and know the tells and know the rules, you're going to just not win. You're not going to win. In fact, the chances of writing and winning a blind bid is 5%. So with that in mind, another blind bid opportunity might come up where someone randomly finds you and calls you and says, I would like you to respond to this RFP. You've never heard of them before. You don't know anything about the opportunity. And when you're reading the opportunity, it covers some of the things that you do, but you're going to have to go get a teaming partner to do the rest. Well, obviously somebody wrote that spec. It might have even been your competitor had some influence on that spec somehow or another. And in many cases, the government customer needs to get 3 written bids before they can actually award a contract. And let's say only 2 companies responded. Now they have to go out into the marketplace and basically beg people to respond to this bid. What are your real chances here of winning that bid? It can cost anywhere between $1,000 and $100,000 to write a proposal. So if you're going to ring the dinner bell at your company to get everybody together to work evenings and weekends and put all your resources toward a proposal opportunity, and you're basically guessing what they want, yet you think you are the answer to their prayers, what you're doing is you're writing a blind bid, and you're wasting everybody's time. So no more blind bids. Only write proposals that you knew were coming, you knew the customer, and they told you exactly what they wanted. So in our next little meeting in a couple of minutes, we'll dig deeper into that. But another number 2, no more blind bids. Next slide, please. So now we've saved you what? $1,000 plus $65,000, $66,000 in 2 slides. So the next thing is, don't sit on your certifications anymore. If you went and went through all the trouble to get your GSA schedule, to get your, which isn't a cert, that's a contract vehicle, but you've got your small business certification, your 8A certification, you're a hub zone, you're a woman-owned, you're an economic disadvantaged woman-owned. You just got a GSA schedule, you're listed up there. Don't sit and wait for the orders. They're never going to come. You got to hit the ground running. Next slide, please. Also being listed at SAM creates this series of emails you're going to get from .coms, .orgs, .net, and .us companies. Those are not the government. Government emails will come to you through Sam.gov and some of the other sites. If it's a .mil or a .gov, those are real government customers. But if you start getting approached by companies that insist you need to get a GSA schedule, now there are appropriate times and places to get a GSA schedule, but don't go through the hassle of it, because believe me, it's going to take you a year or 2 to get one if you do it yourself. Or if you get a consultant to help you, which really tightens up the time and energy, you're going to have to invest in that consultant anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000 to get that GSA schedule. So if you're going to go through the hassle of getting the GSA schedule and apply for it, make sure your customers are actually using it to buy your types of products and services. So don't get one unless you know for sure you need one. And don't take a GSA schedule consultant's word for that. Do your own homework and find out for yourself whether or not your customers are using the GSA schedule to buy what you sell. Next slide, please. Do not partner with a company just because they have a great brand name or they have great set-asides. Next slide, please. Don't sign a check to any consultant unless you've done a background check on them. Ask around on LinkedIn. Talk to people. Next slide, please. Do not protest, ever. Next slide, please. Don't go around the prime. If you're working with the prime, don't go around them to the customer. That's their customer. Next slide, please. Don't talk politics ever. Next slide, please. Do not hide a problem from a federal customer. Someone recently told me, Eileen, tell your customers to tell us if they're running into a delivery problem. We might be able to solve it. Problems don't age well like fine wine. Let them know if you're struggling because they can help you with it. So those are my 10 what not to do in federal contracting. Back to Mallory. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen, for sharing your knowledge and insight today. Today's presentation has been recorded and can be found on our website or YouTube channel within about 48 hours. If you have questions about today's topic, please contact Eileen at the phone number or email shown on your screen. Thank you, everyone. This concludes the webinar.